hopping back to Nikke. Elysian units need more fucking fixing, so the Bacillus. Tetra too, but Tetra also has like over 50 fucking 8 units. The problem with Tetra is that they got too many fucking burst 3 and snipers and shotgunners. They don't have too many burst 3s. They got loads of burst 1s and 2s, and all their burst 3s are either snipers or shotgunners. And the machine gunner is a limited time unit. The assault rifle unit, I'll continue while rambling, is a limited time unit. And the other, was it raining? I think it was, because I would say there's a pistol like hanging off somewhere. Weird. But limited time units are different weapons. I can't fucking understand why. And I've told this too many times to Shitty Up about this. I complained about it. Non-fucking stop. They do not care. And the fucking also big issue is, man, I'm telling you, the other big fucking issue, I did have the duck bill. Okay. Is that there's too many fucking Tetra units. Bacillus, I think at the time of this right now, might have be at 38 or 39 fucking units. I can't understand the fucking reasoning behind that. Okay? Elysian has, I think, 48 or 49 units. They got actually a little bit of an increase because of the Absolute Squad getting their upgrades and 3 of them being released. But the main fucking crux of it is that there's zero fucking balancing throughout the entirety of that game, okay? There is no goddamn fucking balance whatsoever. I don't understand why. And the main reason being is because I think Shitty Up sees Tetra as a money-making unit. They're a manufacturer that makes a lot of fucking money. That's understandable. You want money. I'm glad you like money. You have zero fucking accountability to take it to action when it comes to like making sure that everything is a little bit fair and balanced. The weapons are a complete and total fucking mess. They're all over the place. Some of these weapons have no fucking identity, by the way. And the element system is complete trash. The third year, 3.5 anniversary was a very good example of how Shitty Up is willing to switch over to something else that makes them money. And when they did that, that's when I saw that they were willing to completely and say, fuck you, we want money, this is what we're going with. So anybody who was out there that was like, hell yeah, we love Tetra, they're getting what they fucking want. Whereas people like me, why would you put a 4x combat scope on that thing? It's kind of interesting to think about now I'm thinking about it. Huh. But people who like Tetra are getting exactly what they want. People who like the big titty shit, they're getting what they want. Look, I love titties just as much as the next fucking person, by the way. I do. I really fucking do. I, however, got into the game because I was enjoying the fact that there was, how do you say, a strategy to building a team composition to synergize and complement one each other when it comes to that sort of thing. The Absolute Squad is a pretty good example of they only really cater to launchers and snipers in that order. Everything else is like, who cares? But you could still bring along a machine gunner. You could still bring along a submachine gunner, assault rifle, whoever. I mean, the Absolute Squad, Emma and Unwa, the tactical upgrade one, you can bring whoever. But they're more primarily focused on launchers, which, personally speaking, launchers are a lot of fun now that Vesti's like 2.0 came out and she's completely wiping out every fucking thing. And I enjoyed that. I thought that was actually, here's my career stats in case anybody was wondering. But I'm ranting by this point. Feel free to click off. I just need to get this off my chest because I know for a fact that if I don't, I'm going to mentally fucking break. But they also need a lot of their older units fixed. Maiden needs to be fixed. Maiden needs why does an attacker unit have taunt? It makes no fucking sense, dude. It does not. It's the same with Rappy. Why does she have taunt? She has no way to mitigating damage when she gets when she taunts. Everything kind of points to the fact that it's like, okay, attacker units, which by the way have the lowest fucking HP in the game, are taunting and pulling everything. And what are they doing? Dying immediately. Because they pulled everything on screen. Bosses that hit really fucking hard decided to aim at them and zap them. And if you bring a unit that is weak to the element the boss you're facing, that's almost a guaranteed disconnect, dude. Solene has treasure prospects, and she keeps constantly getting shit on. The first time they fixed her, again, I will say that I am one of the many people who are yelling at Reddit at the time when I was on Reddit. I don't go to that fucking place no more. Okay? Reddit at the time. You know what? Let me boot up Nikke. Let me boot up Nikke. Since I'm here, let me boot up Nikke. I think I can actually just boot it up while I'm still there. I don't know if it'll actually still record or not. If it does, that's great. If not, whatever. I'll continue on this rant. But Solene was one of the, like, okay, so back then when I started playing the game, it was pretty early on, about maybe April, May. I was like, dude, Solene needs work. She needs help. This skill setup is kind of garbage, you know? 90% HP. The speed is kind of garbage, and I think something else. I can't remember. Hang on. Alright, so a little bit of a quick insert. I do realize this is probably one of those things. I wasn't really going to bother, but I completely forgot about this. Is actually kind of a big deal. Tetra, let's see. When it comes to cooldown reduction units, I believe Bacillus only has one in the form of leader. That's it. Everybody else seems to be just... It's a small fucking roster. With that being said, I do believe Elysian also has about 4 cooldown reduction units in the form of the Killer Wife, Solene Frost Ticket, Aqua Helm, and Rappy Red Hood. Now, if we don't count Rappy Red Hood, because most people more than likely use her as a burst 3 rather than a burst 1. Personally, I use her as a burst 1. And the main reason being is because when a Nikke happens to have a fixed cooldown reduction unit, or a full fixed cooldown reduction, I personally would rather use that over anything else, mostly because I do feel like Rappy is a much more better burst 1 and stuff like that. This is a little bit of an issue when it comes to this, mostly because I can't seem to understand why they don't give us the option to have Rappy as a burst 1 cooldown reduction unit, very similar to how we have options for burst 1, 2, and 3 for Red Hood. And it goes to show that I don't think Shitty Up knows how to actually implement that in a choice manner for us. If we don't include Rappy, then that's only 3. Aqua Helm is also a burst cooldown reduction unit. But if we don't include limited time units, then we only have the Killer Wife and Frost Ticket Solene. So take that as you will. That is actually kind of that. The Frost Ticket Solene is actually not too terrible because she's just like Rappy with a fixed cooldown reduction. It's static. It doesn't go anywhere. All you have to do is just keep her alive and just enter into full burst. That's it. So that's actually pretty solid. But if we do include all 4 of them, then that means the Elysian has 4 cooldown reduction units. 2 that are available year round, 1 that's really hard to get a hold of, but available year round. That's not too terrible. It's actually pretty solid. Tetra, for whatever fucking reason, has about 6. Now, if we look at Milk has Treasure, if I'm not mistaken, that has her give a cooldown reduction after landing 10 full shots. Yeah, right here. Now, realistically, this is probably one of the lowest form of cooldown reductions, right up there with Dorothy, but it's something. And the fact that she gets her burst, which is 40 seconds, reduced down to 20 seconds. She suddenly becomes a burst 1 cooldown reduction unit, healer, buffer. Really, really fucking good. That's fucking insane for a treasure unit. They also have Dala, who's a cooldown reduction unit, who's the first generation cooldown reduction unit, mind you. Volume, who's a cooldown reduction unit. And if I'm not mistaken, Moran was a cooldown, or is a cooldown reduction unit in the form of Treasure. I don't know anything too much about it, but considering that her cooldown gets reduced to 20 seconds, very similar to that of Milk. And let's see, yeah, her cooldown gets reduced down to fucking 7 seconds. This kind of shows you how somebody was fucking thinking, and they were like, hey, remember how we fucked up with Milk and her cooldown reduction? How about we do a better job with Moran? So that's what they did. So if you're not keeping tabs, I already have 4 cooldown reduction units. And we take a good look at the last 2, which if I'm not mistaken is Rouge, which she's kind of like D-Killer wife, except, you know, much more fickle in the fact that you gotta put her in a certain position. 7-second cooldown reduction after she's landed 8 shots. And if I'm not mistaken, Pop Star Big Mouth Bitch is a 7-second cooldown reduction unit, provided that there's no other burst 1 unit. So 7 seconds. 6 fucking cooldown reduction units for Tetra. If that doesn't say anything about how Tetra favoritism is right up fucking there. Which I did some math in the video, but now I've corrected it. I believe there are 58 Tetra Nikkes. 14 rows. 14 times 4, 16 carried to 1, that's 56. Add the last 2, which is 58. They're grossly growing in power. At least I think it's 58. It kind of just stop caring, stop fucking counting, realistically, because of the fact that they have the most cooldown reduction units, the most burst 1s, the most burst 2s. But here's even what's more fucking stupid. Pilgrims have 2 cooldown reduction units in the form of Dorothy and Little Mermaid. Macilas has 1, and that's Leader. Let that sink in for a little bit. Let that sink in and let you know that Macilas is not only really fucking in trouble with having the lowest roster out of the main 3, but they only have 1 cooldown reduction unit. Let that sink in for a bit. Okay, I'm just continuing this fucking rant because anyway, I'm gonna get this off my chest now because I'm kind of done. I'm kind of over it. But I was talking about it and I felt a little bit something like going on in my head with a little bit of clockwork. Anyway, I felt like catharsis was kicking in. So I'm gonna get this out of the way now. So as I was saying, there are too many fucking Tetra Nikkes. Let me show you how many there fucking are. Here's Tetra. There's 4 across, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 14? 15. No, that ain't right. I just did this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, I think 15? No, that's not right. 15. And 15 times 4 is 20. So there's no way there's 63 fucking units. Either way, that's a lot of fucking units, okay? Now, let's look at the burst 3, because I was talking about this earlier. Gee, gosh golly, gee willikers, look at the fucking goddamn lot of burst 3s. All right, let's look at the burst 1s that they got. Wow, they ain't gonna be having a hard time picking what burst 1s that they need. Let's look at the burst 2s. Wow, they still have a lot of burst 2s. Let's look at the burst 3s. Wow, something's wrong here. In fact, there is something very fucking wrong. Let's see. Can we figure out what's wrong? Oh, right. There's a shotgun, 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 shotgun. Snipers. All the limited time units, which is Ludmilla and Sakura, have a different weapon, which is an assault rifle and a machine gun. Now, there is an assault rifle here in form of Idol's son. Who the fuck is bringing an R when the game really doesn't even value these units? Now, other games I've actually played, they're like, they have a rarity system where it starts at an N and then an R, SR. You know, those units, those low rarity units, they have some value in what they do. She doesn't. Now, I think this one's actually relatively recently added, yes. And they are an assault rifle unit. Yeah, okay, so that's actually the first time I've seen an assault rifle unit in such a long fucking time that was not a limited time unit. But they've mostly been snipers and shotguns, okay? Now, let's take a look at Bacillus, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times 4 is 36, plus the 2 from here, which is 30 fucking 8. My math may be wrong, but that's really, really low. Elysian, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 times 4, 8, 48. So they got 50 units. Actually, yeah, that sounds about right because whatever the fuck, she came out just relatively recently, a few days ago. But 50 units? Holy fuck, man. If that ain't something that tells me that's completely, largely in fucking balance, I don't know what is. Now, when I was talking about earlier about treasure, and I did say this earlier, because Bacillus units do need some form of treasure, and the only ones I could think of that would really benefit from having treasure was the rehabilitation units, which was Sin, Quincy, and Guilty. Nobody wants to fucking use them anymore. Nobody wants to limit break them. Nobody wants to care about them because there are other better burst 2 units, right? Right. But even still, the rehabilitation units, which consisted of Guilty, Quincy, Sin, and, if I'm not mistaken, Nihilister, there has been zero effort to make them look good or have them useful in some kind of capacity. Nihilister back then was probably the most go-to because the other Burst 2 unit that was in the Pilgrim department was Noah. Noah first, then Nihilister. All these other units that you see, we didn't have them for a while. For the longest time, it was just Noah, alright? But even still, the treasure department, I don't understand why they seem to think that. Why Phantom? Why Phantom? Phantom has a relatively decent skill set, in my opinion. She did, or she does. When I was using her in a general stage killing, as well as the Harvester anomaly fight, as well as water bosses and raids, she still did fairly okay, despite the fact, I don't have it really built out, but, good enough to be put in there. Why do you have this? Whatever. Get rid of it. But she has treasure. Why does she have treasure? I don't fucking know. It's the same reason as to why the fuck do we have treasure for Flora? That made no sense. When it comes to the Elysium department, Emma needs treasure. Vesti needs treasure. Maiden fucking needs treasure, dude. Polly got it. Kiri needs it. I don't know why Zwei got it. Because she didn't need it. She didn't. Nobody. I don't fucking use her. I tried her. I built her up. I even did the treasure hunt. I can't stand her. She doesn't work. By the way, Unwat needed. Old Unwat. Old Emma. Old Vesti. Maiden fucking needed. Even Solene. Back then, Solene got royally shit on because somebody thought it was a good idea to fix the problem for Solene. Again, I was one of those people that complained about it. Solene needed more. But of course, I didn't know about overload gear at the time. Mind you, I had started the game, and a few months later, I was like, dude, Solene needs work, dude, because, at the time, the grow up part said only affects herself at 90% max HP. I can't find it, but I'm pretty sure I can find it somewhere. And that was it. Now she needs max HP. Now, the crit rate and crit damage was relatively mediocre, but even still, if you had overload gear, at the base rate of crit rate, which is 15%, you could have a pretty good crit rate and crit damage and good attack, a lot of ammo, and still she would be pretty viable if she still had the 90% max HP. Now she needs 100% full. Once she gets hit, this is fucking useless. And if you don't have a healer that's constantly keeping you healed, suddenly that's shit. So I have no clue why somebody at Shitty Up did not fix this. I can't seem to figure out how this works because I don't see a faster increase in damage and bullets. But she does tend to finish faster when she, this was a fucking problem. And she was bugged. That's why a lot of people liked her, because she was bugged, and this was bugged. It didn't work right. And she was doing, I think, a relatively good amount of damage. Treasure could fix this. There's a lot of units out there that needed fucking treasure. There's a lot of units that still need fucking treasure. The Bacillus thing. Pepper needs treasure. She needs to be fixed. She doesn't need the last bullet effect. Maxwell needs treasure. You're going to go ahead and put all three of the Matisse units. You're going to at least put 2 out of 3 Matisse units on treasure. Give it to Maxwell as well. Fix Quincy. Fix Guilty. Fix Sin. Honestly, give more to those units. They already have an okay kind of setup. Shit, fix Epinel. She has a goddamn last bullet effect. The same with Pepper. I can't fucking stand why they have last bullet effects. Crow needs to be fixed. Admin needs to be fixed. Who did they decide to fix? Flora. Out of all the fucking people. Julia got fixed and they got rid of that last bullet effect, which is a fucking amazing thing. Sadly, I don't use her as much, but she's fixed and not last bullet. Laplace got a last bullet effect that was so royally bad, and they fixed it. They now just made it to where she needs a fully charged to hit. Why did Flora need to be chosen? It did not make any sense. It's the same with the tetra units. Let's be realistic here. A huge chunk of these tetra units, you got Folkwing, you have Kakoa, you have Yan. Freema, I believe, got fixed. Ludmilla desperately needs to be fucking fixed. Arya needs to be fixed. A last bullet fucking unit. Why would a last bullet unit, a machine gunner of that, want no more ammo? And the crit rate is so fucking bad, and so is the duration. And look how long it takes for her to reload. That's 2.33 seconds. She ain't gonna be able to make fucking use of this herself. Her allies, maybe, if they're not all reloading too. Element in this game is a fucking goddamn god-awful state. Weapons are also in a very mishmash sort of state. Now, you can fix one or the other really, really easy by letting us choose the fucking element. Give us the option to fucking buy another element for them. Because as far as I'm aware of, there is nothing in the game that says, oh, Emma, your fire element, you could actually do more damage to wind-coated enemies. I have never seen it in my entire time of this story, up to chapter 32, I believe, because I stopped giving a fuck about stories altogether. Even in the side stories, I have never seen it mentioned why they have an element code associated with them. Do they fire fire bullets? Do they fire electric-coated bullets? And even still, the element is just a 10% increase in damage. Who fucking cares? Look, I play Shadow Warrior 2, and that game has you're forced to use element later on, but you only need to use 2. There's acid and there's electric. Hell yeah, man. I'm going to use acid and electric, lemon and lime. But at least with those, they have an effect associated with it, other than the fact that you can use it to counter the ones that are immune to the other effect that you brought. All element does in this game is just do bigger dick numbers. That is it. Machine guns, weapons in this game are absolutely in a fucking shit state. And the main reason being is because assault rifles have no fucking identity. Assault rifles have like, what, a balanced amount of... let me see. I believe it's classified as a balanced weapon. A well-balanced weapon suitable for all kinds of situations. That's not wrong. They excel pretty well on that until the point where it's like, I think I need more DPS in the form of reliable accuracy. Their accuracy is relatively terrible at that, if all anything. They're better than submachine gunners, but they're worse than machine gunners because machine guns, for some reason in this game, but all the games too, but there's always like a mishmash of like, machine guns are all over the fucking place. Machine guns in this game have a extreme high rate of fire, but very poor damage, which is very inaccurate, by the way. But they have laser line accuracy. They're very good for clearing fodder. This is why I love machine guns in a general stage clearing. I love using machine guns in everything, really, because they excel fairly well. Also, launchers excel fairly well. You put those two together and you literally got no problems clearing out enemies from regardless of what fucking hit rate they are. But machine guns should not have a low fucking damage point, okay? The same thing with the submachine gun. A rapid fire makes up for a relatively short range. The bullets are not like in Helldivers 2, where the fucking bullet just drops off and falls to the ground. It's not a realistic situation. Why the fuck does the weapon, like a submachine gun, which has a relatively better damage than a machine gunner, but a lesser damage than an assault rifle, and it still piss sprays all over the fucking spot? Now, this is a bad example because, Quincy has an amazing skill setup that literally fixes a huge amount of fucking problems. And she gets a better stack of hit rate every single time. And I can tell you this much. It is incredibly invaluable. It fixes a huge problem that otherwise all submachine guns have. But even still, submachine guns in general have no real identity. Let's just take a look at Epinel, for example. The only way Epinel is even remotely useful in the whole entire stage clearing thing, and I used her quite a bit in the Massila's Tower, was because she was able to get a kill thing. And killing in the game in this one does not work at all, period, okay? It just doesn't fucking work. The main reason being is because the one unit is competing with 4 other units that are all focused on the same enemy. And the AI loves to focus on the same fucking thing unless you are manually controlling them. Okay? She's only good if this gets stacks. And once it gets stacks and she gets kills and she gets damaged, then suddenly the machine gun's fucking awesome. But unfortunately, she's competing with 4 other units. Even still, there is a bug with this one. I'm fairly certain that if she gets a kill, it doesn't register the kill for some reason. What? Last bullet effects need to fucking go. The only reason why they're even in the fucking game is because of privity. Privity needs to fucking either have that shit changed or just be fucking dealt with entirely and axed. Because I hate that content. But even still, K exists too. But submachine guns still have like almost no real identity other than they fire fast and they have really poor accuracy. You know who fires fast but has better accuracy? A machine gun. And they do a much better job than what a machine gunner can do in a very short time frame. Snipers and launchers have a charge mechanic that is being replaced, by the way, because if we take a good look here, we go here, and I believe they actually fixed this. Oh well, bad example really, I guess. But you can kind of see, right? Now let's see. She stayed out of cover. That was the whole point. Let me find Laplace. Okay. Now I'm letting go. And every time I let go, she goes back into cover. They fixed that with New Vesti, with Cinderella, with other launchers and snipers too. They're trying to get rid of tap shooting, and I know for a fact they're trying to get rid of tap shooting because they know for a fact that it's creating an unhealthy gaming environment. Shitty up! Are you kidding me with this right now? An unhealthy gaming advantage, and people are an unhealthy gaming environment. And you're fucking telling me that the people that are using these third-party programs to rapid tap and shit like that, and are literally using macros, they're being stomped out? But the funny thing is that there are people that are literally paying to fucking win. Shitty up. So that argument, that whole entire thing where they're like, well, we're trying to create a much more balanced, healthy gaming environment is completely moot. You can't fix that unless you happen to separate people that have paid for services and people that have paid for skins and people who don't paid at all are separated entirely. Now, if people have paid for skins, in my personal opinion, they would kind of fall into the pay-to-win category, but these skins don't really offer much at all, period. If at all anything, I think all they do is just give you more tickets for more draws, and then that's really just about it. Yeah, just tickets for more draws, which is like, I don't fucking care. You have your extra draws. The only thing it does is give you more body level tokens. Body level tokens can be used to purchase more consoles. More consoles can get you much more an advantage. But those give you a small advantage, but later on they add up. Okay? Creating an unhealthy gaming environment? What a load of shit, because I can tell you this much. People who are paying to fucking win on a daily, on a weekly, on a monthly fucking basis, okay? There are literally things here. Daily, look what you can purchase. A core dust, a credit pack, battle data, modules, skill boost, and pointless things like daily master gifts, but even more skill boost. There are people that are literally paying for all this shit on a fucking daily basis. There are literally people on a weekly basis paying for this. There are people on a monthly basis paying for this. And you're telling me that the people that were using some sort of glitch or macro or speed tapping some shit, they're creating an unhealthy gaming advantage for people that are free to play. There's already people in the fucking goddamn special arena that are literally so high up there that there's no way to fucking combat them because they are paid to fucking win. Shitty up. It does not matter. Look at this fucking garbage. I know for a fact that this guy right here paid to fucking win because he was so fucking below on the ground until he found out that he could take me out for some fucking weird reason. Now this guy, he has been holding on to the #1 spot for almost a good month. Now he's not. Or a good couple of months, actually, I would say. Does it fucking look like I stand a chance against this? No. And you know why? Because this motherfucker paid to fucking win. You can't tell me he didn't fucking pay to win all of this shit. Look at that. Max. Nah. Healthy gaming environment? Fuck off. You do realize that these people here that are literally paying to get an advantage every single day, and you're telling me that you wanted to create a healthy gaming environment and you're trying to squash these people that are using programs? How about making it to where people that are paid to fucking win, who pay for these sort of shit on a daily fucking basis, separate the free-to-play from the people that are paying? And if people are paying for skins, they can hang out with the free-to-play, in my personal opinion, because why do I care about people that get extra body label tokens when they're just going to dump them right back into the high-profile things to get them even more body label tokens? It doesn't fucking matter. Healthy gaming environment, you're a fucking joke for creating that bullshit statement, okay? Dumping back into these weapons. Charge weapons are garbage, okay? Sniping weapons don't even have piercing. They don't have an identity, okay? Fucking tell me where it says that she has piercing capabilities. It doesn't, because she doesn't. Okay? Now, they're very good at actually hitting the core. But they're also very good at hitting air. Helm has no piercing capabilities in her skill set where so fucking ever. And for some idiot fucking reason, she still has that last bullet effect. Which is like, I don't fucking care. I don't fucking care. If we look at all the sniping units here. Let's see. Piercing. Piercing when bursting. I think she pierced when she bursts. And she pierced when she builds stacks. I don't really know the rest of them. Oh wait, no, she pierced when she, I think no. But either way. The only one who's guaranteed to have a piercing action all the fucking time is Red Hood, and it's because she begins the battle with it. Now, I want to actually talk about something here, because we're talking about weapons, let's talk about weapons. Sniping units, for some reason, have no dedicated weapon buffer, if that makes any sense. Let's just look at the skill real quick. If I'm not mistaken, yes, activates when entering full burst, affects all allies with the sniper, it gives them pierce damage. Now, as I've stated before, and I pointed it out, if we take a look at again, at all the units that have some form of piercing capabilities, they'll get this buff, no fucking problem. Tac Pack Unwa doesn't get it. There's Abby, Trony, Cocoa, not does RPG. Unwa, regular Unwa doesn't get it. Exia doesn't get it. Half these fucking sniping units have no piercing capabilities. In my personal opinion, should a sniper unit have piercing capabilities? You fucking bet. And the main reason being is because snipers are only good at one thing: overkilling fodder. They will one-shot it. Problem is when it comes to stage targets and sub-targets, that's when they fall behind, because they're not very good at doing a lot of damage in a very short time frame because of charge mechanics. Of course, you got people that are literally using, like, say, I don't like you, say Red Hood, right? And all they're doing is this. This is exactly what people do. They just tap shoot. That's all they gotta do. It's just tap shoot. And that's it. And the main issue with that is that we're not using the charge mechanic as it's intended. Shitty up. Until you decided to fix that problem with later on snipers. Now let's take a good look at, I believe it's the jellyfish chick. I can't remember her name. She actually stays out of cover, which means you can't use her to tap shoot, which is kind of funny because I really do feel like Shitty Up is actually trying to stomp out the people that are using these tap shooting mechanics. Yeah, see, I'm tapping, but I can't shoot. I have to fully charge and charge, and as you can plainly see, that she's got a fucking butt plug on her. point being, they're trying to stomp out the tap shooting. They've been trying to do that for a while, ever since they started going with the whole entire bullshit. But even still, sniping, other snipers don't give other snipers really good benefits. Case in point, D-Killer Rifle only gives piercing damage to all sniper rifles. Not all sniper rifles have piercing damage. Now, this is kind of a weird one, but she gives buffs. I'm pretty sure that's a girl. Yeah, all allies with the sniper rifle gives more attack and more ammo. Fuck yeah, man! But unfortunately, when it comes to a sniper rifle, I think she and D-Killer Wife are really the only ones that give buffs to other sniper rifles with these sort of things. Same thing when it comes to assault rifles. Let's take a look at assault rifles, okay? Yeah. You know what? I don't see anything here where it says she gives a buff to an assault rifle. Now, this is not entirely true. Not entirely true, okay? There is actually a unit that does actually give a buff to assault rifles. But she only gives a buff to an assault rifle electric-coated unit. Affects all electric-coated allies with assault rifles. Increases max HP without restoring HP. Well, why would I want that? I want max HP. I want to have like some HP restored. Why is that even a thing? Oh yeah, why do I get an invulnerability to the unit that's in the very far leftmost corner? Why am I only affecting the unit with an assault rifle? Oh, that's right. I forgot. My bad. This is kind of more along lines I think it's supposed to be for Scarlet! If we take a good look at all the electric-coated units around here, and I can go ahead and tell you this much, there's not very much a lot. I mean, there might be, but realistically, yeah, there's not a lot. Personally speaking, I don't think I'm going to be using Sin for this to give more attack plus more vulnerability, more HP, more anything, because she's a defender unit. Who cares? Moran, probably. Soldier EG, again, we'll go back to the argument. No one uses an R. So who is this really meant for? Scarlet. Scarlet's the only one that likes to have less HP because she benefits it from a skill that literally needs it so that way she can actually give a temporary buff when it falls below 60% HP. Funny how that works, huh? A little bit weird. But even still, assault rifles, I don't know about you, I have not actually seen a specific buff that means for other assault rifles to give other assault rifle units more ammo, more attack. It doesn't specify that specifically. It's the same thing with submachine guns. Let me come back to that one. Machine guns. There's no machine gunner, as far as I'm aware of, on this team or anywhere else really that says that I specifically buff machine guns, and that is it. Okay? It's been a while since I've actually gone through and taken a look at the roster, but rocket launchers, I think she gives a buff to other rocket launchers. That's fucking awesome. Either way, it's like, is there a launcher here that gives other launchers more damage, more ammo, faster charge speed, faster anything? No, I don't see that. Again, there are other units that do give other buffs. Let's take Mana, for example. She gives buffs to the unit with the longest charge speed, if I'm not mistaken, and that can be anybody that has a high charge speed, whether it's a sniper or launchers. That's not really rocket launcher specific. Submachine guns only have one person that gives a buff to other submachine guns. Miranda. Funny enough, she also has treasure. But I don't need to go to the treasure because it doesn't fucking do. It doesn't teach you anything. It doesn't show you anything significant difference other than the fact that it says health up, which gives you more hit rate for 5 seconds, which is fucking mediocre. Who cares? But it can be actually, it can be continuously landed, so that's awesome. And then 30 more shots gives more hit rates to all allies with the submachine gun. Awesome. That is it. She is the only one that I know of out of the entire submachine gun bracket that gives a buff to other submachine guns. And it's not even improved with the fucking treasure. You know what? I'll show you the treasure version. Why not? Because I'm pretty sure it got untouched. Nothing got improved out of it. Yeah. As you can see, it just fucking stays the same. Nothing. What this whole entire thing set up really is catering to the people that love to use the Snow White one-shot mechanic that was there. It's largely the RNG, which this then, I think right here, kind of removes the RNG factor. Which, fucking awesome. Let's cater to a meme build rather than fake catering to... The Shitty Up listens to the wrong fucking people in this entire game. I can't seem to understand why. Why didn't they improve the hit rate or the submachine gun buff? Why don't other units give more submachine gun buffs? That baffling. Hey, let's take a look at the shotguns. Let's take a look at the shotguns, baby. Let's take a look at the fucking shotguns. Buff shotguns. And let's see. Oh, I don't know. Buff shotguns. Oh, man, that's awesome. I can't believe she buffs. She buffs shotguns. Oh, that's awesome. She buffs shotguns. Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. I think she might buff shotguns. Let's take a good look. I don't know. Buffs shotguns. Oh, no way. Buffs shotgun-wielding allies for some weird reason, okay? I can't fucking figure it out. And don't get me wrong about this. You know, I'm an American. I love me a shotgun just as much as the next American does. Hell, I got two of them, okay? I got a Mossberg Maverick 88 that I have customized it. And I have a DP12 double-barrel pump-action bullpup shotgun. I love that thing so much. But yeah, okay, so I was playing on Helldivers 2 and I was using a shotgun. Yes, I love shotguns because they are effective and they do a really good job taking out Terminids, Voteless. They do a pretty good job against the robots. They do an amazing job. I love using shotguns in video games so much, okay? I love using sawed-off double-barrel shotguns because they're so fucking good. There's a game called Blood where it's called sawed-off shotgun, and when you get a pickup that gives you a kimbo, you do wield almost every single weapon in the game, including double-barrel shotguns. But I can tell you this much. Why is there more fucking buffs in this game for shotgunners than anything else? It doesn't fucking make any sense. Even Neon gives a pretty good buff to a shotgunner, dude. I can't understand how shotguns give buffs to other shotguns. If I don't show it, people like see, affects all allies with a shotgun. When it comes to treasured units like Drake, gives more attack to all allies with a shotgun. Okay, fucking awesome, man. Sugar gives more ammo when entering full burst to all shotgunners. Holy fuck, man. Leona, she gives more buffs to all shotgunners. Are you serious? Yes, take a look at this. Number of pellets is increased to all shotgunners. Let me check her out real quick. I want to say she gives a buff to all shotgunners too. No. She just gives a buff to everybody. And you know what's even funny about that is that Tuve, who's an assault rifle unit, specifically gives a buff to all units, but she increases the attack speed to all shotguns. She makes shotgun wielding allies do more damage. I don't know about you guys, but this seems kind of a little bit fucky wucky up inside my head. I can't figure out why the fuck Shitty Up is royally just doing nothing. Why shotguns have more love when it comes to buffs than anything else is fucking beyond me. Why there's more tetra units is fucking beyond me. Why more tetra units only have shotguns and snipers. I'm glad they finally was able to get an assault rifle unit. Really. But it's some cosplay slut that I don't give a shit about because I don't fucking care for some... I don't like tetra. I didn't like tetra beforehand because I didn't care. It just didn't seem... I'm more of a person that likes the military stuff when it comes to the Elysian. Hence why I like Elysian military stuff. Unfortunately, that doesn't even fucking exist too much because it gets skankified. It's the same thing with Macilis. I love Macilis because I love the science, the R&D, the science girls and stuff like that. I thought that was going to be a real kick. And unfortunately, it's not like that. The whole theme of the game is completely, if not entirely, fucking lost to me. I can't seem to figure it out anymore. I do realize that this has been nothing but a giant fucking bitch rant, and believe you me, I can expect people to be nothing more than just like well, you're just seeing the game from a different perspective, or you're just a fucking loser. Believe you me, I know for a fact I am. You don't need to point that out. But even still, there are problems that still need to be addressed in this game. And for some dumb dick reason, I can't seem to figure out why the championship arena is still in fucking beta almost a year later. They got rid of the Surface beta. That was only around for about a fucking month. Why was that removed? That didn't make any fucking sense. I personally love the Surface beta content. I played it on PC. Most people didn't. Most people who said that it was really terrible, I can actually understand because I played it myself on mobile. It's super fucking buggy and laggy. And by the time I click onto a unit to move them out of the way so they don't get blasted by something, it's already too little too late. But on PC, I can use the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buttons and I can move the squad out of their way. The whole building your squad thing, by the way, was also really fucking terrible because in the beta there was like, you can have up to 9 squads. Awesome! But there are only 39 Nikkes allowed to be on the Surface? That don't make any sense. That's kind of weird. How did that go wrong? What? Oh, right, there's only a certain amount of dormitories. Why is it that every single fucking Nikke seems to have some form of kill regeneration while they're in combat, or kill regeneration while they're out of combat? Wait a minute, that don't make any sense. Doesn't it mean that a Nikke who's in combat when it comes to fodder is technically in combat? No, they're not in combat. They're only in combat when they're fighting a boss, or they're doing something like defense stage, like a defense battle, which is a little thing that they had going on, which I thought was pretty cool up until I found out that a needler can literally tap me from fucking far away, or can destroy a base that I'm not even close to be taken out. I couldn't even get close enough to be hitting the needler until I was like within 1 block of it. There are ones that increased range, but it was 1 block difference. A raptor can still be tapping me until I get within a shooting range of that raptor, which made no fucking sense. What also made no sense is how there is an out of combat and in combat buffs. There is health regeneration and no health regeneration. There are kill regeneration and kill regeneration in combat and in boss battles. You're going to be telling me that kill regeneration when I kill a boss is only going to restore about, what, 13% of HP across all the people that are in it? Fucking what? And then there's the fact that there was only 3 main healers in the entire game. I think it was like Pepper, somebody else that I can't remember. But even still, Pepper in her own squad was not able to heal her own squad. She could only heal the ones that are like right beside it. So the person right beside Pepper squad had to heal her squad, and then the Pepper squad had to heal the other squad. It just didn't make any fucking sense. It didn't. Why is there an in combat and out of combat buff? Why is Surface content removed and Championship Arena is still in fucking beta? Why were the anomalies recently buffed to finally include prizes for phase 8 and 9? Now, the only thing you would actually get whenever you completely killed a boss was a title, which, who fucking cares? You want to see what my title is? That's it. That's my title. It has not fucking changed since I got her, and I don't fucking care. Look at all the other titles I fucking got. Awesome. Cool. Look at all these titles. So awesome. Great. Really cool. Woo, yeah. Does it fucking look like I care, like if I get a title for killing an anomaly boss? No, I don't fucking care. And then they finally added prizes to that, and that don't make any fucking sense. It's like, why wasn't that included to begin with? Why was that not in beta? Why was Overclock in beta for almost like 2 seasons, I think? The only thing that's changed is the things that you can put into it that's like rearranging and stuff like that. Like, you can change up the machine guns, the manufacturing buffs, you can remove this, you can remove that, the element of this. I don't fucking care. They still have things that are in beta that is not out. It took them almost 2 fucking years to get Championship Arena out. And that's still in beta? And they took away Surface content? And what else is there new added to the game? I mean, yeah, we got these arcade games and stuff like that. That's fucking awesome. Those are fucking cool. But I don't have a reason to go back and get them. Maybe to like get the I think you get like stickers you probably didn't get. You get like gyms, which I don't fucking care. Does it really look like I want to waste my time hours getting 300 gyms? I did it once before. I'm not doing it again, but I can tell you this much: nope. There's surface content with some new breath of fresh air that was brought into this game that's really fucking stagnant, and now we don't got it. There's a lot of problems in this game that need to be addressed. There's a lot of balancing that needs to be addressed. Give me the fucking ability to change my squad's element. Give other weapons buffs to the same weapon type. Let machine gunners have other machine gunners buff weapon types. You literally have other weapons that buff other weapon types. You have Trina that gives a buff to assault rifles. You have Tuve that gives a buff to everybody, but specifically gives more buffs to shotguns. Shotguns should not have the most fucking buffs in this entire game. Sniper rifles only have a buff to other sniper rifle users that have piercing capabilities. Okay? It needs to be fucking fixed. There needs to be some fucking equality here. Shitty up. Tetra should not be the main fucking focus. But then again, why would it matter? I've been wasting my time for almost 38 fucking minutes, mostly 50 fucking minutes. And I can tell you this much. At the end of the fucking day, no matter how much I keep doing this to myself, and I'm finally glad it's off my fucking chest, off my mind, I can finally just focus, not care anymore about this game. It's a mobile game. That's why I don't really care anymore to try to give valuable feedback to shit, because they don't care. I deleted all my feedback way back when on Reddit, because they were, my shit was just being buried by everybody that just wanted bigger titties and more lewd shit. They got it. They fucking got it. But my wall attacks completely fucking ignored. My survey is still fucking ignored. I think the only thing I noticed that got changed was the shop whenever they had the union raid stuff. They changed it to where the batteries are now just single purchase rather than packs of 10. That's a big change. That's the only thing I know I was kind of echoing too, but it got changed. Everything else just... Why would I give feedback? It's a mobile game. Shitty up don't care. They're like every other company out there, man. Goodwill doesn't pay the bills. They listen to the masses because they're the ones that give them cash. That's it. I'm done. Don't worry about it. I mean, I still play Nikke, but this is finally off my chest. I can think. I can go back to doing whatever the fuck I was doing. Go back to drawing. Go back to listening to music. But I finally just needed to get this rant out of my head.